Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I wanted to talk about my makeup inventory. I'm going to go through every category of makeup that I own, everywhere from foundation to blush, eyeshadow palettes, eyeliners, every category of makeup, talk about how many items I own in each category, the total number of items I own in my collection, and also the cost of my collection, the value of my collection. I just wanted to kind of do this as a way to kind of define my goals for makeup purchasing for the year. I just did a video last week talking about 5 types of makeup items I will not be buying in 2019. I also said that I was going to be doing kind of the opposite of that and sharing what types of products I do want to buy in 2019, and I figured I would just kind of combine that with this makeup inventory video. Since I'll be sharing the number of products in every category, it'll also give me kind of an opportunity to let you guys know which categories I'm comfortable expanding this year and which ones I want to either keep the same or downsize. So the first category that I have here is face primer. I currently own 4 face primers, all of which are kind of dewy or hydrating or illuminating type primers. I'm comfortable with that number. I think I'm good on primers for right now. I'd like to keep that number right around 4. The next category is foundation. I also own 4 foundations right now. I did include the one tinted moisturizer that I have in with the foundations because I kind of use it in place of a foundation. So 4 foundations, I would like to keep it at 4. I think that's a very manageable number of foundations, and that way I can have, you know, a light coverage, maybe a medium coverage, a more dewy foundation. You know, I can have some variety, but 4 I think is a good number for me. Maybe 5. But I would like to definitely keep it under 5. Then we have concealers and correctors. I currently have 3. 1 full coverage concealer, 1 light coverage concealer, and then I also have the First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy. I wasn't sure what to consider that. I'm still trying to figure that product out, but it does have a little bit of a peachy color, so I kind of see it as like a corrector, maybe like a concealer, like something that would go under concealer. So I included that here. Technically I really have 2 concealers that actually have coverage. I'm pretty happy with that. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more variety in my concealer collection, so I said my goal is 5. It doesn't mean I'm, you know, running to go out and buy more just so I can have 5. It just means I'd like to keep that number 5 or under. And same goes for all of these categories. Okay, next we have powder. I have 3 powders, 1 of which is a face powder and 2 of which are under eye setting powders. One of those under eye setting powders I haven't even opened because I'm still working through the other one, but I'm okay with that number. I'd be fine maybe just having 1 face powder and 1 under eye powder. I also wouldn't mind having maybe a second face powder that's like a loose translucent setting powder. So currently the only face powder I have is a pressed powder, so I wouldn't mind increasing that number to maybe 4. But again, I'd like to keep it kind of under 5. 5 is kind of like the magic number here. For setting sprays, I have 2 right now. Setting sprays is one of those categories that I am interested in exploring a little bit more. I really haven't tried a lot of setting sprays in my makeup career, and so I'm sorry, I keep looking over there because that's where my collection is. So I wouldn't mind having maybe a couple more setting sprays at a time. I said my goal is no more than 4 for now, which I think is reasonable, but I'm fine with 2 as well. I don't know. Just, it's one of those categories that I'm willing to kind of expand and explore more, but I'm not like rushing to buy more setting sprays either. So contour and bronzer I kind of just combined into one category because I tend to kind of use them interchangeably. It depends, but I just decided to include them in one category. So for this, I do have a face palette with some blushes and a highlighter and a bronzer, and I also have a couple of like contour duos with a highlighter and a contour. I decided to just count each like pan as its own thing. So for instance, in that face palette, there's 2 blushes. I'm counting those as 2 individual blushes. And then there's 1 bronzer in there, so I'm counting that in my bronzer category. Since I don't have a lot of face palettes, I just decided to break it up this way. I hope that makes sense. So I currently have 5 contour and bronzing type products. 4 of them are powder and 1 is cream. And I would just like to keep that number, I said under 10, because I currently have 5, and I feel like I'd be willing to expand that and maybe try some different undertones. I would like to try more cream bronzer and contour products, and the same goes for blush and highlight. So I said under 10, but I would say maybe even under 7 would be good. But that is one area of my collection that I'd be willing to expand a little bit. For highlight, I have 6. I have 5 powder highlighters and 1 cream, or actually liquid highlighter. So it's 6 right now. I would actually like to experiment with different tones of highlighter. I really don't have very many for someone on YouTube right now. And I would also, again, like to try more cream and liquid highlighters. So I also said under 10 for this category. For blush, I currently have 10, 9 powder, and 1 cream. I have committed to not buying any more powder blushes that have a peachy or like light pinky peach undertone, but I would like to explore more different types of shades of blush, like maybe some more purpley blushes, some more berry tones. So this is also an area of my collection that I'd be willing to expand a little bit. Right now it is 10, and I put here for my goal that I'd like to keep it 12 or under. The next category is brows. I have 3 brow products, 2 pencils and 1 trio that has 2 powders and a wax. And I said for my goal I'd actually like to only have 1 brow product, just 1 pencil at a time would be ideal for me. I'm not the kind of person that needs a lot of variety with my brow products. I just need like 1 brow pencil that works and I'm happy. So that is actually one area of my collection that I would like to kind of pare down. I'm currently trying to pan 2 pencils. I'll probably also try to use up the powder and wax brow trio that I have, but I would just really like to keep it just like 1 pencil. Then we have eye primer. I have 2, 1 regular and 1 glitter glue. That is my limit. Two eye primers is plenty. I don't need any more than that. I actually also have a jumbo eye pencil that I'm using as a primer right now, so I guess you could say I have 3, but I kind of included that in its own separate category. But yeah, for eye primer I'd really like to have no more than 2, but also no less than 2 because I like to have a regular primer and a glitter primer, so that is like ideal for me. For eyeshadow, so this section I broke it down between palettes, Z palettes, and like single pans, and packaged singles, so not the kind that goes in a Z palette, and also cream shadow sticks. So I've got those categories, and then I also totaled the total number of different individual eyeshadow pans in my collection. So I have 9 palettes currently, 9 pre-made palettes, so that doesn't include Z palettes. I have 3 Z palettes, and between all 3 of those, a total of 26 single magnetic pans. 9 packaged singles, and that does include like Stila glitters, so liquid shadows. I just included that in the single shadow category. And I have 1 cream shadow stick, or like jumbo pencil, whatever you want to call it, remaining in my collection that I'm currently using mostly as an eye primer. So in total I have 137 separate eyeshadows. So that includes all the pans in my palettes, as well as all the single magnetic pans, individual single shadows, and liquid cream shadows, all of that. In total I have 137. That number kind of surprised me because I feel like I have kind of a small eyeshadow collection compared to a lot of people, but when I saw the number 137 I was like, that is a lot of eyeshadow. Like, that's gonna take a long time to go through. But in this category I am kind of comfortable with expanding it a little bit. So I have technically, in between all my Z palettes, I have room for 19 more single magnetic shadows, and I wouldn't mind filling up all my Z palettes since I have the space for them, and it wouldn't take up any more space in my drawers. That being said, I'm not like rushing to buy a ton more single shadows because I'm happy with what I have right now, but I do have room for more, and I wouldn't mind adding a few more to my collection throughout the year. And for palettes, I would say I probably, like I said, I currently have 9. I would like to keep it definitely no more than 15, probably more like 12. So I guess what that would mean would be I wouldn't want to buy more than like 3 to 5 more eyeshadow palettes this year. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'll stick to that. I don't have like a hard rule for myself. One of those 9 palettes is just a little quad, and I just included that with my palettes. So, I don't really think of that as like a big palette. But anyway, that's where I am with eyeshadow. I'm okay with it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, really. Next we have eyeliner. So I currently have 8 eyeliners, 6 of which are liquid or glitter liners, and 2 of which are pencil liners. So I have 8. I put for my goal, I'd like to keep it around 10 to 12. One area of my collection that I do kind of want to expand is my colorful liner collection. I have a couple of different colors right now, but I wouldn't mind adding a few more colorful pencils and colorful liquid liners to my collection, just because those are fun and it's nice to have variety there. Definitely allows for a lot more like creative looks that I can do. So I wouldn't mind adding more colorful eyeliners to my collection, but I definitely would not want to have more than 1 black liquid liner and 1 black pencil liner, because I feel like that's plenty. I don't even wear black liner that often anyway. It's kind of rare that I do like a black winged liner, and it's really rare that I do a black pencil liner. So no more black liners for the year, but I would like to potentially purchase some more colorful liners, both liquid and pencil. I'll also say I'm not really much of a gel eyeliner person, the kind that's in the pot. Those I don't really purchase. I don't know, I just prefer either pencil or like a pen style or a liquid style, but I'm not really into like cream or gel liners, so I probably won't purchase any more of those, at least as far as I'm concerned right now. Okay, then we have mascara. Currently I have 2 mascaras. One is open and one is kind of on backup. My goal always is to only have 1 mascara open at a time. So if I have one on backup, that's fine, because you never know when a mascara is going to dry out. Usually I keep it for around 3 months and then I'll have one on backup, but I would really not want to have more than 2 mascaras at a time because I don't need more than 1 mascara on backup at any given time. Lipstick, I have 20 lipsticks. And I counted gloss and lip liners separately. So I do have 20 lipsticks. I'm okay with that. I mean, for someone who doesn't wear lipstick all that often, it does sound like kind of a lot. But I also like to have variety in my lipstick collection. Like, I like to have, you know, a wide variety of colors to choose from, because when I do wear lipstick, I like to switch it up. So I said I wouldn't mind adding a few more lipsticks to my collection here and there. So for my goal, I said 25 or under for lipsticks. So right now it's 20. That allows me to kind of maybe purchase a few more, but keep it kind of in that same ballpark number. And when I do purchase lipstick, I want to make it a point to make sure that what I'm purchasing is something that is unique to my collection. I don't want to have a bunch of the same kind of color. Like, for example, right now I don't have an orange lipstick. So if I were to, you know, stumble upon an orange lipstick that looked beautiful, that I really want to try, then that I would purchase. But let's say I already have enough like brownish nude lipsticks, so I probably won't purchase any more of those. I want to be smart about my lipstick purchases, but I don't mind adding more to my collection. For lip gloss, I have 2. This is another one of those categories in my collection that I do actually really want to expand. So I currently have 2, one of which I'm wearing right now, just the NYX Butter Gloss in Brulee. That's like the perfect nude lip gloss for me. I also have more of a metallic lip gloss. So that's kind of nice as a lip topper, or just like as kind of a fun lip gloss. But I would like to maybe purchase a few more lip glosses. I said that my goal is 5 or under. So, you know, here and there I'll probably purchase a few lip glosses this year. But I don't think I need to have more than 5 because, you know, at the end of the day, most lip glosses are going to look kind of the same on the lips, you know what I mean? Especially sheer glosses. For lip treatments, I currently have 1 regular lip balm, 1 lip balm with SPF, and then a lip scrub. So 3 total. I actually would like to buy 1 more just regular lip balm that I can have in my purse. That way I can have 1 lip balm kind of in my room or in my apartment that stays at home, and then 1 that can come with me in my purse. That way, you know, I don't have to like shuffle around to try to find my 1 lip balm that I have. I would like to kind of keep that lip treatment category around 4. Right now it's at 3. The last category is lip liner. I have 4 lip liners, and I think I'd like to keep it right around 4 or 5. I have like a red lip liner, a berry lip liner, kind of a brownish nude, and a pink, like a light rosy pink. So 4 is good, maybe 5, maybe 6, but kind of just around there. I don't want to have 10 lip liners. I feel like I don't need as much variety with lip liners as I want with lipsticks, because I don't always wear lip liner when I wear lipstick, you know what I mean? Just to kind of wrap this up, I wanted to conclude with the total number of products I own and the total value of my collection. So in total I own 103 makeup products. I wasn't quite sure whether to include lip balm and lip treatments or not, because I usually don't really consider that a makeup product. So if you take that out, I have exactly 100, which is kind of funny. I mean, that's just a coincidence. But and then just to clarify for eyeshadows, I counted my 3Z palettes as 3 individual products because I didn't want to count all 137 pans of eyeshadow, because I felt like that's just like, I kind of think of palettes individually anyway. So I counted all 9 of my pre-made palettes, 3 of my 3Z palettes, and then I counted each packaged single, so not magnetic singles, as 1 product each. Because that's kind of how I organize it in my collection anyway. So yeah, in total I have just around 100 makeup products, individual products. Now with that being said, I did count the separate pans in face duos and face palettes separately because I don't have a lot of those, and for the purposes of keeping count of how many like blushes I have, I feel like that makes a little bit more sense in my head. Hopefully that makes sense to you too. The total value of my collection, now this is tricky because I haven't kept track of the exact amount that I've paid for everything. If I had to guess, I would probably guess that most of the things I own I got on some sort of a sale, because normally when I shop for makeup I either I, you know, usually try to purchase things when they're on sale or when there's some kind of like buy one get one deal going on. So this is just the total value. For certain things where I could remember exactly how much I paid, I did put that price instead. But most of these are just going off of like the retail value of the product. So rough estimate, the total value of my collection is $1,016.30. So around $1,000. Most of my collection is drugstore. I don't have a lot of high-end products in my collection, so I don't know. I don't know if that strikes me as a lot. I guess not really, because, you know, if my collection were all high-end, I'm sure that number would probably be like $5,000 or something. So there were like a few lipsticks that I received in PR. Those I didn't include in the total price, but if I had, it probably would have been more like $1,100, something like that. But if you take into account things that I bought on sale, it probably all kind of balances out to right around $1,000. So yeah, that's my inventory. Honestly, I felt a little bit overwhelmed as I was going through all the categories. I do keep an inventory just on my own throughout the year to keep track of when I purchased things and how many things I have in each category, just roughly, so that I can keep tabs of everything. But as I was going through this and trying to calculate all the numbers, it probably was just because it was a lot of numbers and sometimes that can be kind of stressful, but I feel like my collection is quite reasonable and manageable for someone with a YouTube channel. I do like to keep my collection relatively minimal. Now I know my collection is much bigger than maybe someone who doesn't have a YouTube channel or someone who doesn't watch YouTube, someone who's just wearing makeup for like a practical day-to-day use. Like I used to just have, when I was in high school, I just had like a small makeup bag and that had all my makeup. Now I have a small set of drawers where I store my makeup. As long as I'm able to kind of fit everything in there, I'm pretty comfortable with the current size of my collection, and I'm fine seeing it grow a little bit. It's tricky being on YouTube because I do get overwhelmed very easily by just having a lot of products, but at the same time I do kind of want to have a variety of things that I can talk about on my channel, things that I can recommend from various different price points. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I do lots of videos about project panning, shopping your stash, using what you have. Everything I use is cruelty-free, and I would love to have you stick around. But anyway, that's all for today's video, and I will talk to you guys next time.